So is it powder or pressure that causes a bullet to fire more consistently? In order to help you guys draw a conclusion on the answer to the question, I posed another question 2 weeks ago by asking, a grain of powder is a measurement of what? Now, almost instantly, people were saying that a grain of powder is a measurement of weight, and almost all of you, but I think maybe 2 or 3, said that it's a measurement of weight. But if you actually look up the answer online, and if you look at what the other guys were saying, the 2 or 3 that answered differently, it states that a grain of powder is a measurement of mass. But what does this mean? Now, this is where you're going to have to put on your thinking caps. Both of these bullets are factory-loaded Remington Core-Lock bullets. The bullet on the left is a 6.5 Creedmoor, and if you listen real carefully, you hear that? There's not a lot of case capacity left in here. So I would say that this bullet is probably 85 to 90% filled with powder, meaning there's not a lot of case capacity. Now let's listen to the 30-06. You hear that? Let me get a little bit closer. I would bet that this is probably only 75 to 80%, maybe even 70% filled with gunpowder, stating that there's still a lot of case capacity left inside of here. Now, when we are sighting in our rifles, we're typically sitting horizontal, perfectly level like this. Not perfectly, but usually fairly level, either on a bench or shooting prone. And when we pull the trigger, it ignites the primer. Primer fires into the chamber here, and it sends the bullet downhill. But what happens now when you are shooting uphill, and specifically with this 30-06, if it's only got 70% powder, and now you're shooting uphill like this, and you pull the trigger, hits the primer, primer ignites into the powder directly here, meaning you know that it's sloping down in this bottom edge, round goes off. Now what happens if you're shooting extremely downhill like this? And you know for a fact that the powder is probably only like this. You pull the trigger, hit the primer, what happens? Do you think you get a hang fire? Do you think it'll actually ignite? Post your answer below, and the more that you think about that question, the more that you think about that powder is a measurement of mass, it'll bring you back to the original question. Is it the powder or the pressure that causes the bullet to fire more consistently? Meaning, will this always shoot consistently this way, or this way? Post your answer below. So as I start looking into 2019, there are 4 bullets that have been sitting on my shelves that I've yet to develop a load for. Now, I have shot quite a few coyotes and varmints with the 100 grain Sierra Varminteer here, and I've had a lot of success with this. I've got this burning at about 2990 FPS, and I'm going to use this as my parent load to develop loads for these other bullets here. And I am certain I should be able to get these 2 guys into the 3000 FPS velocity real easily. But the question that I really have is, are you guys interested in me burning this through a hog? I know my Grendel friends use these weighted bullets and are pretty successful in that. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone shoot a hog with a bullet that light. And I know I could probably get that up to 31,000 FPS. That should cause some damage. So here's my other brainchild for 2019. I am almost at about max capacity when it comes to the 6.5 to 64 bullets. If there are bullets you want me to test, I have got great parent loads for any bullet between 120 all the way up to 165 grains. If you have any bullets in there that you want me to test, I only want the bullet, and if you will send me at least 7, I can use 3 of them to make sure that I've got my velocity and nodes and accuracy set right for that bullet weight, and then I'll use the remaining into a hog and show you the neocropsy that a lot of y'all are really interested in looking at. Let me know, comment below, and I'll send you an address that you can send those 7 bullets to, and I'll just do them as they come in order, whatever the next one that comes in. So, yeah, other ideas. Stay tuned.